With the success of the UFC Contender Series on the minds of fans and promoters alike, we were bound to see the development and incorporation of the Prove It Rookie model idea introduced to other organizations around the globe. The PFL will put on their Challenger Series this week on Friday the 18th, and headlining the card is undefeated American top team product Josh Silveira, who takes on the 8-2 South Sudanese fighter Muhammad Juma. The light heavyweight clash is sure to include some fireworks and a clear contender for next year's PFL championship. Today we'll have a look back at Josh Silveira's career in today's episode of Career Retrospective as one half of the inaugural PFL Challenger Series main event. Born and raised in South Florida, he was a multiple sport athlete in high school, competing in football and wrestling. Silveira's father is a black belt under Carlson Gracie and competed in the UFC in the very beginning of the organization. Easily recognizable by any mixed martial arts fan on the planet, Marcus Silveira fought the likes of Dan Severn, Maurice Smith, and Kazushi Sakuraba, and is one of the pioneer figures of mixed martial arts in general. He's one of the co-founders of the American Top Team and now serves as the head coach of American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Florida. With the athleticism of Josh and the background and knowledge of his father, it would begin to mold an elite competitor. He'd begin wrestling in high school, tossing people around with judo throws from where he learned as a kid, before honing his skills and competing across the nation under his high school wrestling coach, Joe Blasucci. He continued wrestling into post-secondary at the prestigious wrestling program of Arizona State University under Zeke Jones, who also helped the likes of Cain Velasquez and Ryan Bader through his time at Arizona. After graduating from Arizona in 2016, he began training for his mixed martial arts career, and it didn't begin with training at American Top Team like I would have thought. Instead, for basically his entire amateur mixed martial arts career, he spent time training at different gyms across the US. He fought under Ryan Bader's gym, Power MMA and Fitness, originally, and then moved to Arizona Combat Sports for the latter half of his amateur career. Through this run, he trained with the likes of Matthew Frincu and Tyrell Fortune. From 2016 to the end of 2017, Silveira stacked up 4 amateur wins with 3 finishes. When turning pro, he got the blessing from his father with one condition, an agreement between the two that his dad would be in his corner and it'd be as a member of the renowned ATT. His debut would be against Joshua Marsh on Titan FC 56, and entering the cage for the first time in the light heavyweight division as a pro, Josh would brutalize his opponent in the clinch, against the fence, and in back mount, all coming in the first round and all coming before Josh's first rear naked choke submission late into that round. He'd take a year off from the cage, landing a fight with the Standout Fighting Tournament with other international prospects scattered throughout the card. He'd top his 4-minute finish with a 1.5-minute head kick KO against Cody Rowling. With 2 solid professional mixed martial arts wins under his belt, Josh would take the next step and sign with the premier American indie organization in the Legacy Fighting Alliance. He'd also start competing more frequently on the LFA 93 main card against Fernando Alvarado. His fight was much more drawn out, with Alvarado finding success, making it to the 3rd round. However, Silveira would end the contest before the judges were needed with an arm triangle in the 3rd minute of the 3rd round. Before you knew it, Josh would be headlining LFA's trip to Grand Hotel Casino and Resort in Oklahoma. His opponent, Rafael Viana, was also successful in his first 6 fights and suffered his only loss to Devin Clark before he debuted in the UFC 1 fight later. Silveira dumped Viana in the first second of the fight with a single leg counter of Viana's left hook, and he'd keep the fight against the fence before quickly slipping to Viana's back and submitting the 6-1 light heavyweight. Josh would outdo the then and now UFC fighter Devin Clark's performance, winning this fight in under a minute. Josh would again get to headline an LFA event, but would up the stakes for this fight. In the main event of LFA 115, he'd take on undefeated T. Cummins in a 5-round, 205-pound title contest. Cummins coming off 4 straight TKO wins and looking extremely dangerous, with a couple BKFC wins sprinkled in there as well. Cummins would be a very dangerous opponent for Silveira on the night. However, Cummins would be on the end of a left high kick, and Cummins anticipated the kick coming to the body, and when it slipped over the defense and landed on the chin, that was all Josh needed to end the fight there where it stood. Now the 205-pound LFA champion, he had the choice of proceeding to push for a contract with an elite organization like the PFL or UFC, or continue to build experience on the indie scene. Josh would choose to step out of his comfort zone and take on a new weight division entirely. He'd sign on to fight middleweight Jared Revell to seize double champion status to cap off his 2021 4-fight campaign. In his 3rd LFA main event, he'd head to his first decision of his career, and however, the suspense was very minimal as he won as flawlessly as you can, receiving a 50-45 from all the judges at ringside. Josh would become just the second double champion in LFA history, etching his name in LFA glory. He'd share an emotional moment with his father at the end of the fight, expressing his gratitude and fulfillment from the result. If this win wasn't sweet enough, the LFA announced Josh as their 2021 Fighter of the Year following the campaign where he did become the double champion. 2021 in the LFA was a great year for Josh. Now, 2 months after competing in the biggest fight of his career and securing that double champion status in the LFA, he'll be the one to headline the PFL's first Challenger Series event. With a good result, he could find himself competing for the $1 million grand prize in the PFL's 205-pound division. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below, how far do you think Josh Silveira can go in the PFL, and do you think he has the capability of winning the 205-pound PFL title? I'm going to be extremely interested. I think he's going to put on a show in this fight on Friday, putting his opponent away, probably in the first round, maybe second round. And I think that win will most likely come by submission. Josh's wrestling, paired with his grappling skills and knowledge from a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts legend in his father, I think he's going to be able to secure the W and make it to the PFL 205 regular season for next year. But let me know what you guys think in that comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.